It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Bamidbar. The question of the week is, how do you get rid of arguments? So in this week's Torah lesson, Parsha Bamidbar, we learn about the counting of the Jewish people, every single tribe, and then the way the camp was set up, the way the Jewish people traveled, where there are three tribes in the front, 3 in the back, and 3 on each side. Total of 12 tribes. And in the middle was a tabernacle, and around it was, one side was Moshe and Aaron and his sons, the other side was Kahas, the other side was Merari, and the other side was Gershon and his descendants. So Rashi says something very interesting, that we know that Kahas, Korach came from Kahas, and Rashi says because Reuven, the tribe of Reuven, was camped next to Kahas, which was next to Dasman Aviram, therefore when they had the quarrel over with Moshe Rabbeinu, who joined Dasman Aviram, the tribe of Reuven, because they were neighbors, and because unfortunately the expression is Oy l'Rasha, Oy l'Shchenoi. When you're living next to a not necessarily a great person, it rubs off on you, and it affected Reuven in the tribe of Reuven. That's why they actually joined in with the arguments against Moshe Rabbeinu. However, Rashi says, the commentaries tell us, that just like we know that something in a negative way, but in a positive way is always much more stronger. So just like we say, woe to the bad person and his neighbors, when it comes to a good thing, so it's even greater, greater lesson is from his neighbor. So, for example, we see that who camped next to Moshe and Aaron, that was the tribe of Yehuda, and Yisachar, and Zvulun. And we know that not only Yehuda had tremendous leadership attributes, but even Yisachar and Zvulun got along in a very, very beautiful way, and they were teachers of Torah. And why is that? Because they encamped next to Moshe and Aaron. So you see from here that what happens is when you encamp next to Moshe and Aaron, and we know that Moshe and Aaron, what did they resemble? We know Moshe Rabbeinu was the man that went up to heaven to receive the Torah from God. He's the one that taught Torah. So when you're hanging around Moshe Rabbeinu, you're hanging around Torah, you not only don't get involved in arguments, on the contrary, you're involved in peace and you're involved in happiness. So that really brings out a beautiful lesson from here, that if your person wants to stay committed to Torah, and a person wants to have a life of peace and of unity, is to make sure that you surround yourself around people like that stood for what Moshe Rabbeinu stood for, and Aaron, which is peace and Torah. So in other words, to answer the question, how can you avoid arguments? Hang around people like Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron that are busy with studying Torah, busy with peace, and then that will rub off on you as well, that you'll be busy with Torah and peace, and naturally you'll avoid any and all arguments. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.